it is that time once again. You are looking at a new AI-only campaign. This time, it is Campaign 7, Auspicious Shores. I am your host, as always, Virinity Void. And this here is the prologue to Campaign 7. I will be going over the first few national ideas of submissions that described their national ideas, and if they didn't, we'll go through the modifiers for the first 4 idea slots. I think we have fewer submissions than last time, but a lot of people were busy. It is the summer after all. But I do believe that this campaign is still going to bring with it plenty of interesting scenarios and situations, no matter what happens. The shtick or the premise of this campaign should be pretty obvious. If it isn't, just keep paying attention. Trust me, it will make itself clear in due time. But without further ado, I will be going through the national ideas, like I said, of the submissions of each player. Just a little bit, just to dip the toes in the water of each player, and just see what they came up with. Anyways, without further ado, I will be me first, and then Yayoi, Mackie, Cravens, and so on and so forth. So, first off is the Order of Harem. The Order of Harem has plus 20% fort defense and plus 20% army morale recovery speed. And for his first national idea, it is cost of advisors with ruler's culture minus 20%, and it's called Gathering Jewish Scholars. As an independent Jewish refuge, we are a beacon of light to other Jewish people across Europe, Asia, and Africa. Given enough time, we will have a plethora of Jewish advisors in our court. Second one is financial assets in line. National tax modifier plus 10%. Jewish people are usually seen with disdain in Christian and Islamic states, though they are useful to various rulers as economic advisors. Incorporating this financial prowess will help keep the order alive and well. And then the third national idea is the need for the order. Morale of armies plus 10%. Militarism is not the mainstay of most Jewish people, yet there is a need for an order of fighters ready to defend Judaism as a whole. The will of God is clear, and we will not let any others get in the way of it. And with that, we will move on from the Order of Harem on to the Priesthood of Bastet. Actually, you know what? We'll go to the Order of Priesthood of Athena. So, the Priesthood of Athena gets plus 1 yearly army tradition, and then plus 20% fort defense in their traditions. And then, for his first national idea, it is fierce from the very start. Yearly army professionalism, plus 1%. Just as Athena was born from the head of Zeus, clad in full armor and ready to fight, we too are raised up in a militant manner. Defending our traditions, and Athena herself requires the best and finest soldiers. Second national idea is Athena's philosophy and thinking. Though brilliant in many respects... this is idea cost minus 5%. Though brilliant in many respects, Athena had a major role in philosophy as well. The cult of Athena today is heavily involved in diverse philosophical debates, and are keen on seeing what works and doesn't work with our own traditions. The third national idea is Athena Glaucopus. Foreign spy defense... Foreign spy detection plus 30%. From the very earliest times when Athena was being worshipped, an owl was always nearby, or even perched on Athena herself. The quote-unquote bright-eyed goddess, by which we obtain wisdom and knowledge, sees all, and will help obtain truth from the lies of foreigners. That's it for the Priesthood of Athena. We will now go to the Firewalkers. So, the Firewalkers get minus 10% infantry cost and minus 15% shock damage received in the traditions. The first national idea is good thoughts, good words, good deeds. The this gives stability cost modifier minus 15%. The threefold path of Asha revolves around the motto, good thoughts, good words, and good deeds. Charity and spiritual equality amongst Zoroastrians is a must, and keeping this tradition going is what helps our state be stable. The second national idea is coming out of hiding and gives settler chance plus 20%. Scattered all across the lands of Iran and nearby regions, Zoroastrian communities are present in small numbers, though they mask their identity and beliefs when outsiders come along. We can and must encourage them to come out of hiding once we are nearby. The third national idea is revived priesthood. The Zoroastrian priesthood has long been in exile due to the Islamic conquests, but the Firewalkers have ushered in a new age for Iran as a whole. The Moabads and Herbads may return, and with them, strength in Zoroastrianism. So that's going to be it for the Firewalkers. The last one for my submission, I have... There's two more, right? Oh yeah, there's two more. The next one is the Priesthood of Bastet. This is fort defense plus 20% and goods produced plus 10% in the traditions. In the first national idea, it is simple pest control, trade steering plus 20%. The worship of Bastet is central to us, true, but what comes along with this worship? Plenty of felines, of course. Felines that keep pests like rats and mice out of our harvested crops. Pest-free crops are inherently of better quality and sought after, no? The second national idea is Wrath of Sekhmet. Though Bastet is central to us, her sister, that is Sekhmet, is crucial to the armed forces of our state. She is the vengeful manifestation of Ra's power, and through her, our military is granted strength in the midst of battle. The third national idea is for the House of Bastet. Though we, this gives land force limit plus 30%. Though we may hold our courts at Mennefer, Perbast is where a great deal of our religious authority comes from. By empowering the High Priest of Bastet and developing Perbast even more, we will have the resources we need for a true military fit for Bastet. And that'll be it. That'll be it for the Priesthood of Bastet. And the last one for my submissions is Wycliffe's Disciples. These used to have descriptions, but I forgot to save the submission twice, and I had to remake it 2 times. I'm done with making customizations right now. I'm tired. Oh Lord. But yeah, Wycliffe's Disciples. They have plus 15% more. Plus 15% manpower recovery speed and plus 20% for defense in the traditions. The first national idea gives war score cost versus other religions minus 25%. The second national idea gives plus 10% goods produced. The third national idea gives morale damage received minus 5%. And the fourth national idea gives missionary strength plus 1%. And that'll be it for my submissions as a whole. Let me just double check that. And yes, that's true. So, the next set of submissions are going to be from Yayoi. So Yayoi's first one is, of course, ever faithful Paradox Interactive. So Paradox Interactive has they are able to recruit explorers and conquistadors in their traditions, alongside having faster moving ships with fleet movement speed plus 1. Their first national idea means they cannot build buildings. Their second national idea gives them plus 1 colonist. Their third national idea gives plus 10% global settler increase. Their fourth national idea gives plus 20% settler chance. So, very expansive colony we have, or submission right here. But we'll see if they're able to expand enough to obtain enough power. The second submission from Yayoi is the Mean Ginger Pirate Girls. I'm not entirely sure what to make of these names, but we're going to keep going. They have plus 20% galley combat ability in their traditions, alongside chance to capture enemy ships plus 40%. Their first national idea is they cannot build buildings. Their second national idea is plus 20% morale of navies. Their third national idea is fleet movement speed plus 3. And their fourth national idea is naval force limit plus 22.5%. So a definite naval power to be reckoned with in the Mediterranean. And it should be noted they are a grand pirate confederacy. The third submission from Yayoi is the Trans Pirates, a returning submission from a previous campaign. What is this? Xian? No. So, how fitting. The song sets sail for this. The Trans Pirates have 20% morale of navies and naval force limit plus 30% in their traditions. And their first national idea is they cannot build buildings. Their second national idea is they have more flagships available to them, plus 4. Their third national idea is privateer efficiency plus 22.5%. And their fourth national idea is blockade efficiency plus 20%. So another naval power that is, again, a grand pirate confederacy, and they are also, like the Mean Ginger Pirates, of Norse religion. And the final submission from Yayoi is the Bad Girl Coven. I am not sure what to make of this, but Bad Girl Coven is Waldensian in religion, and is that? Yep, Clawthorn. The Bad Girl Coven gets technology costs minus 10% and administrative technology costs minus 10% in the traditions. Their first national idea is they cannot build over their force limit. Their second national idea is diplomatic technology costs minus 5%. And their third national idea is military technology costs minus 5%. And their fourth national idea is idea cost minus 5%. So Bad Girl Coven is definitely aimed at getting that technology up as fast as possible to be ahead of the competition. We'll see if they're able to do that throughout the campaign, I suppose. The next set of submissions comes to us from Mackie. So Mackie's first submission is Dragoon. Dragoon has with it minus 20% advisor cost and yearly devotion plus 1.5 in its traditions. And its first national idea is defend the monastery. Morale damage received minus 10%. In 1240, the Mongol armies under Dorta Nagpo sacked Gyala Lakhang Monastery and Rating Monastery, and then turned on Dragoon. The monks managed to defend the monastery and prevent its destruction. The second national idea is Gyuragompas. While we have an abbot as a religious head, we also have a secular ruler, the Gompa or Gomchen. With rare exceptions, this was a hereditary position within the Gyura clan until the 16th century. The third national idea is Sino-Tibetan relations. Despite our lack of political influence declining since the 15th century, our monastery plays an important role in Sino-Tibetan relations. So, definitely going to be I would say a good contender here in the Tibetan Plateau, and who knows, they might entangle themselves with Indian politics sooner than we expect. Though, is Mackie's second submission, and it has plus 15% improved relations, alongside a minus 25% province war score cost in its traditions. Its first national idea is expand Choni Monastery. Choni Monastery lay at the core of our state. We should expand the monastery even further and invite scholars and monks from all over to enter Choni Monastery. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but I'm gonna go with it. The Tale of Conquest. Morale of armies plus 15%. The Choni Kingdom formed, according to legend, after its invasion by Chinese warriors who migrated across the mountains from Sichuan, conquering the local tribes in 1404. The Yongli Emperor himself named one of them hereditary chief, bestowing the name Yang. The third national idea is ruling the 48 clans. Monthly autonomy change minus 0.5. The John, I'm not sure what that character is supposed to be. King established a palace on the north bank of the Tao River. The family, holding the Yang seal, continued to rule over 48 Tibetan clans in Zhon as an autonomous kingdom from the early 15th century for 23 whole generations. Impressive. Amdo and Drigong are likely to become friends, but we will see what happens with Amdo when they reach the Bun dynasty, or maybe even Atakent. And then Maki's third submission is Koda. Koda has plus 20% production efficiency, alongside plus 20% infantry combat ability. Excuse me. And its first national idea is constant raids, looting speed plus 20%. From the beginning, we were surrounded by enemies: Mansi, Russians, Nenets, Selkups, and Sibir. In times of war, we must turn to raids to profit from these wars, get quality goods we don't have, and weaken our enemies. The second national idea is Kanti Bear Celebration. The bear celebration is being celebrated by our people after a successful hunting of a bear. The bear celebration continues 5 or 6 days, and over 300 songs and performances occur during a bear celebration, uniting the whole community. Stability cost minus 10%. The third national idea is Sacred Groves. Prestige decay minus 1.5%. The Kanti do their sacrifices in sacred groves, which serve as ecological preserves where no animals can be hunted, all presided by the various kin groups in our society. So it seems Koda, while they aren't going to expand very fast, they are going to have a lot of economic gain on their side, and it should be pretty easy for Koda to stay pretty powerful up here. Only time will tell what's going to happen when Koda encounter the Russians, or Atakent, or even the Great Horde. Maki's next submission comes to us in the form of Nia. So, Nia has plus 20% fort defense and plus 7.5% morale damage. Their first national idea is the League of Inveray. National manpower modifier plus 15%. For too long have the clans of the Highlands been divided. We must take all the Highland clans and join them as one alliance where they have to contribute, with one supreme military leader in charge. The second national idea is Highland tactics. We use our rugged home to our advantage when defending Alba from foreign intruders. Whether it be using hit-and-run tactics, ambushing them in mountain passes, or just learning enemy tactics in their land, we shall be a thorn in their side. That shock damage is going to do a lot, plus 15%. Wool of the Highlands. Third national idea, goods produced plus 15%. Due to our mountainous geography, we have very little arable land to cultivate in. As such, much of our population focuses on making wool a highly profitable trade. By encouraging the further production of our fine woolen products, we give ourselves an economy. Nia is gonna have a tough time against Wycliffe's disciples, but maybe they'll find fellow Catholic friends in Flandrish, Verdun, or Hoya. We'll see. And then Maki's last submission is in Quararafa. It's in West Africa. So Quararafa has plus 22.5% national manpower modifier and shock damage received minus 15% in its traditions. First national idea is To resist raids, cavalry combat ability plus 15%. Due to our native beliefs, our territory has been the target of raids from the Muslim Bornu and Hausa. To repel these raiders, we need an answer to the Lefidi and Bornuan heavy cavalry, and thus we must develop strong horsemen of our own. The second national idea is Wukari Priest Kings. At the center of Korororfa is a priest kingship at Wukari. Our religion includes the divine right of kingship, thus making our king of divine blood and spirituality important. Let us not abandon these ways of our forefathers for any new belief. Tolerance of the true faith plus 3. The third national idea is bureaucracy under the Aku. Although we are a mere tribal confederacy, a grouping of traditionalist tribes south of the Muslims, we need to ramp up our bureaucracy if we want to compare with our northern, more centralized neighbors. Reform progress growth plus 22.5%. And that'll do it for Mackie's submissions. Oh my goodness, this is a lot of talking. I'm going to take a sip of my water, and then we will move on to the submissions from Cravens. Oh, shit. I'm going to get lightheaded from speaking so much. Holy God. And if this prologue takes too long, I might split it up into 2 parts. It depends. But for now, let's go on to Cravens' submissions. First one from him is Solglani. I'm also like this prologue's not going over an hour. I'm saying that now. We're at 21 minutes, not going over an hour. Oh, so Solglani, the return. Plus 20% cavalry combat ability and plus 50% cavalry flanking ability in its traditions. Its first national idea is once a rapscallion, always a rapscallion. Back with a vengeance, we have now been given the chance to ruin yet another clean slate. Our boys are eager to take it. Morale of armies plus 10%. Second national idea is national tax modifier plus 15%. Same old, same old. We will play by the book and prove to the world's uninformed that the rapscallion state is indeed composed of rapscallions acting the part. The third national idea is gun, cavalry fire plus 1. It go shooty, bullet go pew, guy across plop down. I mean, yeah, okay, sure, Okay, Cravens. The second submission from Cravens is Malgizdiri, with plus 10% national tax modifier in its traditions and great project upgrade costs, minus 30%. The first national idea is deportations. Lovely. Colonists plus 1. The second national idea is slavery. It's lovely. Goods produced plus 10%. Third national idea is war crimes. They're lovely. Land leader shock plus 1. Cravens, what kind of message are you trying to send me with this? Alright, Cravens, I'm gonna be in your DMs after this because god fucking damn it, what is wrong with you? I might have to slap you on the wrist for this shit. The next submission from Cravens is Fort Impregnable. And Cravens did not do an Africa submission, so... Oh, I think I... Did I? I don't know if this was the original flag he sent me. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I can't remember. Oh well. I'm fucking... We'll play it as it is. I renamed his provinces for him. Okay, so with Fort Impregnable, we have in the traditions cannot send merchants and a fort defense plus 50%. And I'm gonna check real quick. Hold on. I have to check something, because... I gotta disable this. Because No, he's still following the guidelines. He's riding damn close. We'll take a look at this nice seal on the water here while we're reading this. First national idea is wall the beaches, make haste. The devil's kin are at our footstep. We must not let them in. We must stop them at the first line. Attrition for enemies plus 0.5. Second national idea is spread the forts. Settler chance plus 15%. The comfort of the stone-cold walls of our stalwart cities must be made known elsewhere too. Let the world find out about us. Third national idea is mandatory service at the walls. Garrison size plus 50%. No man, no woman, no immigrant, no child may ever receive the citizenship of Fort Impregnable should they not man its walls for a 46-month-long service period. Why 46 months? What? Okay. And, yeah, Fort Impregnable is going to be a bitch to get through. That much is true. Good luck to anyone trying to besiege Fort Impregnable. Let's see. So after Kraven's, we have Viri's submissions. Viri submitted to us Ancona. Ancona has plus 15% trade efficiency and plus 15% ship durability in its traditions. Its first national idea is Adriatic Renaissance. Idea cost minus 10%. We are one of the centers of the Adriatic Renaissance, a part of the greater Italian Renaissance centered on Venice, Dalmatia, and the Marches. This is characterized by a rediscovery of classical art and a certain continuity with Gothic art. The second national idea is Stamira's example. Many have tried to conquer Ancona, meaning that we have always had to defend ourselves from Imperial, Venetian, and Papal troops alike. In one of these sieges, a widow named Stamira had the courage to set fire to the siege engines with only a torch and an axe. Morale of armies plus 15%. How courageous. Third national idea is inviting Levantine merchants. Development cost minus 10%. As Ancona is Central Italy's gateway to the Orient, many merchants from the east have arrived in our city. This includes Albanians, Turks, as well as Greeks fleeing Ottoman persecution. By supporting these foreign tradesmen, we make Ancona more prosperous. Glorious, glorious Ancona. I look forward to your exploits. The second submission from Viri is Zurich Gal. Zurich has plus 15% infantry combat ability and province war score cost minus 25% in its national and its traditions. Its first national idea is Alter Zurich Krieg. Our expansionist ambitions have alienated the other cantons of the Swiss Confederacy to the point where we have been expelled from the Confederation and attacked. We must not fold to their demands, even if that means we stand alone against our brethren. Morale of armies plus 20%. Friends in high places. Diplomatic relations plus 1. To protect our sovereignty from the other cantons requires alliances, and strong ones at that. We must look to the strongest powers of our age, like the Habsburgs and French, as potential allies who will help us in our causes. The third national idea is conquests and purchases. Our canton is too small to be of importance, to stand out. This is why our rulers look at any opportunity around us to expand through any means we can. This has allowed us to substantially increase the territory under our rule. Zurich is going to have a tough time going against Verdun and the others, but we'll see. We'll see how they do. The third submission from Viri is Hoya. Hoya comes to us with minus 10% construction cost and plus 22.5% land force limit modifier in its traditions. The first national idea is uniting the Central Weser. Ever since the start, we have looked to expand our county beyond its traditional borders. Whether it be through peaceful purchasing, ousting lords, or competing with bishops, all lands between Bremen and Minden shall be ours. Second national, that gives core creation cost minus 20%. Second national idea is Son of the Frisian, morale of armies plus 15%. Our legendary origin states that a nobleman from Friesland, driven out of his home near Oldenburg, turned his eyes south to the wealthy Radsbrook as a new power base. Despite resistance from Verden and Wunstorf, he managed to settle in the area in modern Hoya. Morale of armies plus 15%. The third national idea is ties to the Prince Bishops. Members of our royal family have often ended up as Prince Bishops of the nearby bishoprics, including Verden, Osnabrück, Munster, Paderborn, and Minden. These familial links to many of our neighbors can easily be exploited to increase our influence in the area. Diplomatic reputation, +2. Hoya is definitely going to be a powerhouse in the region, if I do say so myself. I look forward to their exploits. The fourth submission from VII is Verdun. So, Verdun has minus 40% harsh treatment cost and morale damage received minus 7.5% in its traditions. The first national idea of Verdun is the county to the bishopric. Once a county ruled by nobility, Verdun's ownership has changed to the bishopric as part of Otto I's plan to strengthen the clergy at the nobility's expense. He invested the bishops with symbols of power and appointed them as direct vassals. Yearly devotion plus 1.5. The second national idea is Conte Viager. Our increasing power over the county of Verdun has gone to the point where we can appoint a temporary count for life under the authority of the bishops, drawn from the Ardennes nobility. Conflict may arise between count and bishop, but we have the edge. Cost of advisors with ruler's culture, minus 20%. The third national idea is gaining authority over the bourgeoisie. The 12th century saw the emergence of the communal movement. The citizens of Verdun wanted to evade the authority of the bishop. We must regain authority over the city as its rightful owners so we can get taxes from Verdun. National tax modifier, plus 15%. A very solid submission, and indeed a very solid set of submissions from VII in general. So, and VII's Africa submission is Manet down here. God, that fucking scented candle I got going. It's fucking fantastic. I cannot get enough of it. I need more. Let's see. Manet has for fire damage received minus 15% and rebel suppression efficiency plus 50% in its traditions. First national idea of Manet is expanding coastward. The inhabitants of the coast of West Africa lack the military prowess we have, making them easy prey for our invasion and settlement. Global settler increase plus 15. The second national idea is archer formations. Our main military formation has been using squadrons of archers in formation, carrying large shields. Their small bows allow us to reuse enemy arrows while denying that to the enemy. It is this tactic which gives us our military superiority. Infantry fire plus 1. And the third national idea is the Sumbas, as are our auxiliary forces, comprising of the Quaja, Quea, and Kru speakers. In particular, their reputation as cannibals makes the enemy fear our attacks all the greater. Morale damage plus 10%. Indeed, it seems Manet is going to expand hard, expand fast, and be a definite force to be reckoned with throughout West Africa. And that is all of VII's submissions done. The next set of submissions comes to us from Masanori Akamatsu. And Masanori Akamatsu brought with us the Nanboku Cho period, if I recall correctly. Oh my god, hold on. So, the first of Masanori's Akamatsu's submissions is Oshu Fujiwara. Oshu Fujiwara has cavalry combat ability plus 15%, and merchant trade power plus 10%, or plus 10 in its traditions. The first national idea is the Northern Trade. Much of the wealth of our clan comes from trade, particularly as intermediaries between the northern tribes of the Ainu and the Mishi and the rest of the Asian continent, particularly with us exporting luxury items from the mainland. Trade efficiency plus 20%. Second national idea is the Land of Gold. The mountains of Tohoku host vast amounts of precious metals, especially gold. Mined from Mount Imade, Hachibari, and Otani, the gold dust produced supports our economy and gold culture alike. Goods produced plus 1. The third national idea is Kings of the North. With our power base in Mutsu province, we have a monopoly on the province's famed war horses. While they make good gifts to trade, it also allows us to field cavalry easier than the rest of Japan. Cavalry costs minus 15%. Masanori Akamatsu's second submission is where's that? The Seiwa Genji. So, Genji over here, the Minamoto clan, historically the founder of the Kamakura shogunate, I will add, gets plus 5% discipline and cost of advisors with ruler culture minus 15% in its traditions. The first national idea is recovering from rebellions. The proud Minamoto have tried to shake off the Taira domination many times, including the Hogen and Heiji rebellions. Although we may lose our kin slain by the Taira and our land seized, we must not stop when it comes to besting our longtime rivals. Recover army morale speed plus 10%. The second national idea is Genji-san Jinja. The 3 shrines of Rokusono, Tada Jinja, and Suboi. Oh my god, these names. Suboi Hachimangu, located in the Kinai province, or Kinai region, all are deeply connected with the Seiwa Genji clan and its members. As such, these shrines are often called the 3 Genji Shrines. Tolerance of the true faith plus 3. I am sorry about that pronunciation, but that was a lot. And then the third national idea is 21 branches of Genji. The Minamoto clan has 21 branches, each named after the emperor from which they are descended from. And many of these had branches of their own in turn, becoming relevant names in later eras. And all these clans claim descent from the mighty Minamoto. Prestige decay minus 1%. Indeed, the Minamoto clan is fit, or ready to take on the rest of Japan. Akamatsu's third submission is Heike, or the Taira clan. The Taira have shock damage received minus 15% in the traditions, alongside naval combat bonus off owned coast plus 3. The first national idea is extending our influence. From our humble origins in Ise province, we have grown significantly in influence. Not only are we the current kingmakers of Japan, but we hold vast influence in the western part of the country. Aggressive expansion minus 10%. Custodians of Miyajima. Being the rulers of western Japan, including Aki province, it only makes sense to expand Itsukushima's shrine and its main hall, lavishing great wealth on it to display reverence for the kami of navigation. The area can also serve as a base for our navy. Morale of navies plus 10%. Third national idea is Hogen and Heiji. As shown in the Hogen and Heiji rebellions, we are more than capable of besting the Minamoto in combat, even against their well-trained samurai. If we beat them twice, we can certainly beat them again when they dare rise up against the Tyra. Morale of armies plus 20%. Yeah, this is going to get real fucking crazy over here in Japan, as it always does. It's always a Thunderdome over there. And then Akamatsu's fourth submission is another slot machine, right? This is his... Yes, CT-28. He didn't do descriptions this time because I'm not gonna read fucking slot machine descriptions. But CT-28 has national tax modifier plus 20% in its traditions, alongside reinforced speed plus 22.5%. First national idea is religious unity plus 22.5%. Second national idea is land fire damage plus 20%. Third national idea is cavalry to infantry ratio plus 30%. Fourth national idea is national unrest minus 1.5. So really CT-28 is going to be, they're going to be pretty strong down here. Especially since they got Shiite as their state religion. We're going to see how, if they can dominate Walaita, if they can dominate Semien, coming back from this province deficit by 1. The next submissions come to us from Mr. Q. Mr. Q. Let's see. We might actually have to do fucking 2 parts to this. We'll see. I'm not looking forward to if I have to do 2 parts, honestly. I'm not. But we'll see. The Bun Dynasty. I've read some of these before. This is apparently a very mean submission, but whatever. We'll go with it. The Bun Dynasty has Liberty Desire in the same continent subjects minus 20%, Reform Progress Growth plus 15%, and traditions. The first national idea is reworking Asia. Asia in EU4 has always been poorly represented when compared to history. To somewhat remedy this, I will make my own mod that adds new provinces, missions, and balance to Asia in EU4. Development cost minus 10%. Second national idea, Emperor of Asia Rework. Being Emperor gives access to the EU4 Asia Rework Discord server, where many great Asian history nerds coalesce. Their advice can be key when modding the continent. Possible advisors, plus 2. The third national idea is help from coders. AR is at this point too big to code for one person without driving them insane. Luckily, my coders will help me, so that I can improve this mod without going crazy. Goods produce plus 10%. This entire thing is just... This one, Quanak, and then Cinnamon Reich, like, they are all just... They're interesting. I'll give it that. So, the second submission from Q is Quanak Gaia. And in their traditions, they get global possible number of buildings plus 1, and improved relations plus 15%. The first national idea is giving Poria justice. Whether it be in EU4's poor province density or Vic-3's population, Korea has always been neglected by Paradox in favor of Japan, China, or Manchuria. I must do my best to improve the accuracy of my homeland. Development costs minus 10%. The second national idea is mending Makamatsu. Maki and Akamatsu, rivals since forever, always bickering. Luckily enough, I am one of the only people who can make these two tolerate each other being in the same server, and even occasionally uniting them in a common goal. Diplomatic reputation plus 2. The third national idea is Chief Coder. Although Blaze owns the mod, I have done much of the work coding it, making me the second best, if not the best coder in the Asia rework. Production efficiency plus 15%. So, yeah. Quanak Gaia. Apparently these are all based on people in that friend circle, so I don't know. Just something, I guess. So the next one that Q submitted is the Cinnamon Reich. Oh my god, I gotta stretch real quick. Oh, so the Cinnamon Reich gets yearly legitimacy plus 1.5, and nobility, loyalty, equilibrium plus 10% in traditions. The first national idea is personal exodus. Although Thailand and ASEAN are wonderful homelands, where I have inherited an aristocratic stratus, Australia is a wealthy country with vast opportunities for me. I shall move to Australia while keeping my Thai roots. Settler chance plus 10%. Second national idea is royal blood. As the descendant of one of Rama V's consorts, I have a loose claim to become the next king of Thailand. I shall look to fight for my rightful throne. Morale of armies plus 15%. Okay. The third national idea is Savarnambhumi, Land of Gold. I host one of the most conclusive Southeast Asia mods in EU4, called Suvarnabhumi. It is there where nationalists from across the region join academic forces to create a proper overhaul. Leviathan's treatment was bad. Idea cost minus 10%. I don't know if I trust you on that, actually. I don't know. I don't know if I trust you on this, Mr. Cinnamon Rice. And then, did VII submit anything in Africa? He did. He submitted the Slave Coast Company. So the Slave Coast Company they cannot build over their force limit, and they get goods produced plus 15% in their traditions. Oh yeah, he did this. I don't know why he made this fucking nation, but I guess. Favorable deals. First national idea. Our mercantile skills allow us to make deals with the Africans that are heavily skewed in our favor. As such, our ability to acquire ivory, slaves, and gold from Africa is even easier. Global trade power plus 20%. Second national idea is white elite. Our company is managed by those of European heritage that have survived the hostile environment in Africa. These Caucasians make the majority of our elites and ruling class. Cost of advisor with ruler's culture minus 20%. The third national idea is professionalized army. Our main advantage against the natives of this continent is our better trained and equipped forces, easily able to defeat any native army even when outnumbered severely. Discipline plus 5%. So, yeah. Slave Coast Company. Okay. Let's see. We have Pimenta. So Pimenta did some Toho shenanigans. First we have Hakure. Pimenta always localizes their national ideas, which it's interesting to me. I didn't think Pimenta was one to localize as much as he does, but I appreciate it. So Hakure, monthly war exhaustion minus 0.10, and then missionary maintenance minus 10% in the traditions. First national idea is total yokai death. Yokai are rampant. They are constantly causing trouble at any opportunity. They must be exterminated to maintain the peace. Missionary strength plus 1.5%. The second national idea is Battle Shrine Maiden. Gensokyo is a land full of dangers. We must teach our troops the path of the Shrine Maiden and their fighting style of Denmaku to be prepared for any danger. Discipline plus 5%. Third national idea is minimize costs. We are well respected, and yet our donations are pathetic, to say the least. We must find ways to reduce costs. Land maintenance modifier minus 15%. As a side note, real quick too, in the test run, Hakure allied with Moria, which is Pimenta's second submission, and they got really stomped out by all of Akamatsu's submissions, which all allied together. I have no idea why it ended up like that, but it was basically Akamatsu versus Pimenta, which is really weird. I don't know why. I don't know if that's going to happen this time. We'll see. Moria has missionary strength plus 1% and manpower recovery speed plus 15% in its traditions. The first national idea is godly mandate. Our realm is ruled by a shrine maiden, but unlike other shrine maidens, Sane is a descendant of our beloved goddess Suwako Moria, and with it our dynasty is from a divine entity itself. Yearly devotion plus 1.5. And the second national idea is Kanako's rule. In ancient times, Suwako was defeated by Kanako Yasaka, the goddess of wind and rain, and transferred her realm to Kanako. Even though Kanako wasn't acknowledged by her new subjects, she still developed an efficient military. Her military are still in use. Morale of armies plus 20%. The third national idea for Moria is Warrior Blessing. Our warriors are blessed by earth and heaven, making them more durable for all the difficult jobs of a soldier. Reinforced speed plus 15%. And we shall see how they do this time around. I just think it'd be really, really funny if the same alliances popped up. They might. Because Hakure and Moria are holy states. They are theocracies. They cannot, They cannot do royal marriages. We'll see. And the other submission from Pimenta is the Flandrish realm. This is more Toho action. So Fland's traditions say that they can't build over forcement, and they get goods produced modifier plus 10%. And then the first national idea is return to the homeland. The old and only legitimate ruler of Flanders has returned. Yearly legitimacy plus 1.5. The second national idea is basement child. The founding mistress, Flandre Scarlet, has sadly spent most of her life alone in a basement for 495 years. However, even in such dark times, she never lost enjoyment of life and even wrote many imaginative ideas down. Idea cost minus 5%. The third national idea is export and invest. Our position in the English Channel is extremely strategic, and we can make great use of trade to acquire wealth. We shall make our cities major world trading ports. So, that is Flan's realm. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen when they go up against Hoya, Verdun, Wycliffe's disciples. The last submission from Pimenta is the Central African Empire. So, it's got this fucking Prussian militarization mechanic. Alright. The traditions are monthly splendor plus 2 and militarization of the state plus 0.05. And the first national idea is they cannot build over force limit. The second national idea is Francization. We shall start teaching French in schools in order to make it the primary language of the country. Culture conversion cost minus 15%. Third national idea is crack down on any dissidents. Many people resist the Francization of the country. They insist in their savage languages. The emperor himself shall beat dissidents with a cane. Harsh treatment cost minus 30%. The fourth national idea is build a grand army. Every emperor needs a grand armée. Land force limit plus 22.5%. I don't like this. This is a semi-meme submission from Pimenta, I'm pretty sure. So I'm just curious how it's going to go. Let's see. The next person we got here is Sakan, who submitted Venetti. Sakan submitted Venetti, the only European pagan this time around, and they have production efficiency plus 15% and heavy ship combat ability plus 10%. First national idea is British trading ports. The Veneti had trading stations in Britain and regularly sailed to the island, and they charged customs and port dues on trade ships as they passed through the region. Global trade power plus 10%. Excuse me. The second national idea is expert navigators. We exercise by far the most extensive authority over all the coast, for we excel in the theory and practice of navigation, as the sea is very boisterous and open, with but a few harbors here and there which we hold ourselves. Fleet movement speed plus 2. And the third national idea is largest fleet in Armorica. Our large fleet, the largest fleet in the area, has made us by far the most influential people in Armorica, with our land hosting some of the few harbors on the otherwise dangerous coast. Naval force limit plus 22.5%. Let's see. So Veneti is really navally oriented, which I don't... In the test run, that did not bear well against the Flandrish realm at all. Like, they got stomped by Flandrish. But we'll see. It may work out this time, it may not. I think we can finish, but we're gonna probably go over an hour. Oh well. Oh well. Let's see. Because we got the Cyan Menace up next with Atakent. So, Atakent. There is no localization for these. So, Atakent has plus 10% global trade power and cavalry flanking ability plus 50% in its traditions. The first national idea is cavalry fire plus 1. Second national idea is caravan power plus 20%. Third national idea is center of trade upgrade cost plus 20%. The fourth national idea is merchant guilds loyalty equilibrium plus 10%. So the cavalry of Atakent are going to be strong no matter what. You gotta fear them. The second submission from the Cyan Menace is Bandar Lange, and they get fort maintenance minus 10% and goods produced plus 1 in their traditions. Their first national idea is my bad. There's no localization here either. Infantry shock plus 1. Second national idea is years of separatism minus 5. Third national idea is harsh treatment cost minus 20%. The fourth national idea is reinforced speed plus 15%. So if Bandar Lange can get off to a good start, they will absolutely be a force to be reckoned with. The third submission from the Cyan Menace is Oplanda. Oplanda can raid coasts, and they have fleet movement speed plus 2 from their traditions. The first national idea is they can recruit explorers and conquistadors. The second national idea is infantry combat ability plus 15%. Third national idea is settler chance plus 15%. And the fourth national idea is morale of navies plus 15%. So Oplanda is definitely going to be pretty expansive, but they may be off to a bit of a slow start with regards to their power level. Scania might be able to jump them. We'll see. And then the submission in Africa from the Cyan Menace, it was Gosa, right? Yeah. Oh, I forgot. Sakan did Numidia. I'll read Numidia after Gosa. So Gosa gets plus 30% looting speed and morale damage plus 10% from its traditions. Its first national idea is production efficiency plus 20%. Second national idea is infantry combat ability plus 15%. Third national idea is rebel suppression efficiency plus 50%. And its fourth national idea is global attacker dice roll bonus plus 1. So definitely Kosa is going to be quite the fearsome power if it gets off to a good start. So Sekon's Numidia has cavalry combat ability plus 20% and attrition for enemies plus 1. And its traditions. First national idea is, oh my goodness, Masaili and Masili. The Numidians have traditionally been divided into two tribes, the Masili to the east and the Masaisli in the west. Divided, both are mere pawns in the greater game being played around us. It is only when united when Numidia can be strong and independent. National manpower, plus 22.5%. The second national idea is switching allegiances. The best way to survive the great Punic wars around us is by being pragmatic with our alliances, abandoning relations that do not benefit our own interests. Diplomatic relations plus 1. The third national idea is Libyan consolidation. With the decline of the Carthaginians, a power vacuum has emerged in North Africa. Let us be the ones who take up this mantle as we expand from Fezzan to Gaetulia, from Dingetania to Cyrenaica, reigning supreme north of the Sahara. Province war score cost minus 25%. I am struggling with these names. But the fate of North Africa kind of is decided between Numidia and Algiers, because in the test run, Algiers got really lucky with their development and stomped out Numidia, and then proceeded to stomp Tetuan, Bad Girl Coven, and everyone else they encountered. So we'll see. Next up we have the Divine Ducks. The last submission. So the Divine Ducks have Global Settler Increase plus 10 and Monthly Splendor plus 6 in their traditions. First national idea is reconquering the world. The calamity led us to this island, our current safe haven, but the storm has settled and the demons have seemingly left. It is time for us to show ourselves to the new human generations. Colonists plus 1. Second national idea is Divine Enlightenment. Our naturally superior intellect leads us to find plenty of philosophers and skilled advisors to serve the child of heaven in their mission of giving us a direction. Reform progress growth plus 15%. Third national idea is Vestigial Wings. These feathers still work. We can run faster than most humans. Movement speed plus 15%. I'm just curious if the Divine Ducks are going to be able to handle these alliances spread throughout the Indian subcontinent, because they're monophysite, and that's a large... I thought I changed that. Fuck. I guess there was an update in fucking Fordoza Shattered Europa, and well, whatever, we'll deal with it. We'll roll with it. It's too late now. We can't turn back. And next we have Husoth, who did the Shwezi restoration. There is no localization here, so the Shwezi restoration has discipline plus 5% and morale damage received minus 5% in its traditions. Its first national idea is infantry shock plus 1. Second national idea is Demi loyalty equilibrium plus 10%. Third national idea is monthly war exhaustion minus 0.10. And fourth national idea is missionary strength versus heathens plus 3%. Do they have the Demi estate? They indeed do. I'm very curious to see how the Shwezi restoration is going to go against the Central African Empire. We shall see. Husoth's second submission, I think he only had 2 submissions, right? Oh no, he had 3. Well, that was an Africa submission. And let's switch it over to Fortress Formosa. These do have localization, okay. So Fortress Formosa, they can't send colonists, and their construction cost is reduced by 10%. The first national idea is connected forts. The fortifications of our nations extend all around the island and are connected in such a way that it makes maintaining them easier without compromising security. Fort maintenance minus 25%. Fort Island. We shall fortify the land to the point where the forts are impossible to distinguish from the island itself. Only this way can we avoid danger from outsiders. Fort defense plus 25%. Guarded coasts. The forts should be our last resort. If our ships lure the enemy into range of our artillery at land, we might never even need them. Naval combat off owned coast plus 3. So, Fortress Formosa really is a fortress to be reckoned with. And then the last submission from Hassoth is Scania. The first are the traditions of Scania are global trade power plus 10%, and institutions spread in true faith provinces are plus 30%. And then the first national idea is rulers of the Baltic. Our dominance of the Baltic Sea is unquestionable. Backed by that knowledge, our sailors face their foes fearlessly. Morale of navies plus 10%. Second national idea is readied armies. The Catholic faith is challenged now more than ever before, much like the periods of iconoclasm and the schism. There is no guarantee that this will all end peacefully. Military tactics plus 0.8. The third national idea is rebuilding the nation. The Reformation brought with it internal trouble and made us learn how to rebuild the country whenever needed. Stability cost minus 10%. We shall see how well you fare when the flames of frenzy sweep over your land, Scania. Scania? Not entirely sure. And then the last submission, last but definitely not least, old Rhodesia from Emperor Constantine. So Rhodesia doesn't... Oh, they do have localization. Okay. Rhodesia gets plus 15 settler... plus 15 global settler growth, and then plus EC. Emperor Constantine. Well, this is going to be rectified before the campaign starts. I will talk with Emperor Constantine over what happened here, because I missed this. Because I've been busy, and other people missed this too. So, Emperor Constantine, as per the some of the rules, other changes. Part of the stipulations was that the national ideas that are prohibited in the traditions because of what happened in a previous campaign. Infantry fire and shock is one of the prohibited ones, so I will be working with him on this, and then once the campaign starts, well, hopefully Rhodesia will be born anew. That isn't breaking the rules. Other than that, that's going to be the prologue for now, folks. Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. Part 1 should be coming soon enough. Actually, no, what am I doing? Shit. I'm flush. I was caught off guard by that, man. Shit. Yeah. Look forward to part 1, everyone. I will see you then.